Hey everyone, and welcome to our podcast, The Voices of CoXplorers. We are a bunch of interns working at CoXplore, a remote management service provider with the vision to empower global remote work anywhere. We were established in Vietnam in 2019 and have grown ever since. Today on the podcast, we'll be talking about what we like in our certain countries and similar cultural values we share. I'll hand over to Nadia to introduce herself.
So hi, I'm Nadia. I'm a marketing intern at CoXplore and also one of the content creators here. So I am from Singapore, just like a few of our other interns here, like Evan and Celeste. So Evan?
Hello, I'm Evan. I'm a business consultant at CoXplore. My job revolves around mostly sales and BD stuff. Celeste?
Right, hi, I'm Celeste. So I'm doing internship at CoXplore like all of us here. I'm in Temasek Poly based in Singapore, and yeah, I'm one of the content creators here as well.
Thank you, Celeste. I'll get started with our first question. What country are you from and what region did you grow up in? Evan, if you could start.
So I'm from Singapore. I live in the west region of Singapore, called Bukit Batok. So what about Nadia?
So I'm from Singapore as well. I'm from the northeast region, which is Punggol. And I've lived in the northeast region all my life, but I have moved around Punggol, Sengkang, and also Hougang.
Cool. So like Nadia, I used to grow up in Punggol, which is the northeast side of Singapore. But recently I just moved and now I'm living at the north. It's not as developed as the northeast, but it's getting there.
Oh, and fun fact, did you know the place that Evan stays at, Bukit Batok, is if you translate it directly, it means Coughing Hill. So yeah, just a little fun fact for y'all. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then yeah, I'm from Melbourne in Australia. So I guess we're known for like our beaches and stuff. So yeah, I live on the Mornington Peninsula, which is probably an hour south of Melbourne. But yeah, it's a fun place to be.
Beautiful.
Why are you not tan though?
I know.
And considering all the sun.
Where to get back to the beach. Okay, the next question I had is, what does a regular weekly dinner menu look like for you? And if you guys are right, I'll start. So during the week, like chicken and vegetables, fish and vegetables, maybe even like some salad or chips to substitute for the vegetables, like something like that is like a pretty basic Australian dinner. But then like our token, like we don't have a token food, but if we did, it would be like a barbecue, I guess, with just like sausages, hamburgers. But yeah, what about you, Celeste? What's on dinner table for you?
Dinner for me is usually takeout. Not really a big fan of cooking at home. It's too much to wash.
Yeah.
And well, for takeouts, it's really depending on my mood sometimes. In Singapore, we have like a lot of food, like a lot of different cuisines, ranging from Malay, Indian food, Chinese food, Mexican, Italian. We have all sorts here, so it really depends on my mood. But my go-to would be definitely Chinese food. Have you tried like those soup dumplings?
Oh, those are good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like those are like go-to, man.
Oh yeah. I have to stay away from Chinese food because, fun fact, I'm actually allergic to peanuts. So I can't have like satay. Yeah. So
I mean, you can have satay, just not with the dipping sauce.
Yeah, like satay in itself should be like just meat, but like the dipping sauce is the one that has the peanut. So you can still have satay, which is pretty good by itself. So like for me, like okay. One basic thing I think it's the same with most Asian countries is that our staple food is like rice. So usually like most dinners, for me, like we cook at home a lot. Like it's either me or my mom, we put together. So it'll be rice with like either a Malay dish or an Indian dish or like Chinese dish. So like it can range from like curries to like gravies or like roasted things. So like for me, I actually prefer noodles over rice.
Yes.
I prefer noodles. So whenever possible, I'll make like soup noodles or dumpling noodles for myself lah. But my family prefers rice, so whenever my family we eat rice. But like on the days where we don't feel like cooking, like ordering out is a big culture in Singapore, especially taking food ordering apps like platforms. So in Singapore we have like Foodpanda, GrabFood, Deliveroo. So mostly we'll just order either like one of the many fast foods, or if we're feeling for a certain cuisine, like it's usually always available in Singapore. Like you can find many cuisines anywhere. Yeah, like the only difference is for me, like I have to make sure that the food I order in is like halal, because I can't eat pork and everything. So yeah. Evan, what about you?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to have very generous grandparents that cook for me almost every single day. So they normally cook Chinese food, specifically Teochew cuisine. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but it revolves a lot like steamed fish, braised pork, stir fries. Yeah, so things like this is what comprises my dinners for the weekdays. But sometimes I do cook myself. Fun fact, I'm actually an aspiring chef. I want to do well in the culinary sector one day. So I cook random things for my family sometimes, mostly around French, Italian, and generally Western cuisines. Yeah.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
My favorite dish to cook, actually fish, because I like fishing as well. So I catch a fish, I clean the fish, and I cook the fish. So it's a very nice flow. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
aspiring chef.
And you'd be on the water heaps as well, Evan, because what sport do you do?
Sports. Oh yes, I do canoe sprint, so it revolves a lot around the water. Yeah.
Man, okay, that's interesting.
Cool. Okay, next question. I guess we're all young, around 18, 19, 20 years old. So, like, what do young people do in Singapore? Seems like you guys are all from Singapore. What do young people do on a Saturday night? Like, what's a typical Saturday night? And obviously, it's important to remember, like, pre-COVID.
All right, so I think pre-COVID, I'm the one with the most nightlife experience here, because once me, Evan, and Celeste turned 18, I think some of us, we turned 18 during COVID. I was the lucky ones who turned 18 before COVID started. So I had like just like a few months, 1-2 months of experience. But yeah, like the nightlife in Singapore before COVID was very, very abundant. Like there was so many places to go, like clubs and bars, and like each club and bar has like their own theme. Like there's the Spanish Latin bars, there's the more normal Western EDM bars. We even have a club based off an arcade. Like there are arcade games in the club. Yeah, and it's really interesting. And like I think one of the most popular places, like one of the most known nightclub places, is called Club Key, which is basically like by the Singapore River, and like there's a lot of clubs and bars and like restaurants as well. But I think even if like you're not into clubbing, like there's so much things in Singapore to do at night. Like movies are still open. You still have like Gardens by the Bay. You still have plenty of beaches to go to, and like you still can go out to eat supper, because like the food places here, a lot of them are like open throughout the night in 24 hours. So it's quite a bit of things here to do regarding like nightlife and stuff. What about you, Celeste?
Well, my nightlife isn't as exciting as Nadia's, definitely. My Saturday night will probably look like family dinners. So I'm more family oriented, and to me, family and friends matter the most to me. So I try to spend like as much time as I have, apart from working, to just sit down and have like a good dinner, a good like round of catch up with everybody, especially like from families. Yep. So Evan, how about you?
Yeah, actually, my church service happens on Saturday night, so that's where I spend like my Saturday nights at. But after like church, right, like you would still go out together as a cell group for dinner. Sometimes you even stay for supper, and actually fun fact, sometimes you even stay up to like 3 or 4 a.m. at night just to talk about random things. Yeah. So that's my nightlife. You would visit different food centers, hang out at random what's ulu? Is ulu an English word?
Oh, okay. So ulu is like random, like quiet
Secluded.
places. Secluded, quiet.
Secluded areas.
Like any possible area that's space, you just sit down there and we have like conversations and stuff. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh, and like since you mentioned Ulu, one of the things that my family actually does, like at night, is to go to Ulu places to go something like legit like,
Wow.
you know, we just go to like yeah, sometimes we'll go to like those known like haunted places or like
Changi
cemeteries.
Hospital.
Yeah, and or like cemeteries and stuff and walk around. And there's even like ghost hunting tours in Singapore for you to take at night, which is kind of cool. And I've been for like 2, and they'll take you to like well-known haunted areas, and then they'll give you like devices like an EMF detector and like voice recorder and stuff like that. It's kind of cool, yeah. You all should check it out.
Really brave.
Yeah.
Really brave.
Yeah. Not for
What about you?
Yeah.
What about you, Trent? Like, what do you do like before COVID during the night?
Yeah, so like similar to you, Nadia, like I didn't get much of a like pre-COVID experience going out. Like I was only 18 for a couple of months. And but yeah, so obviously it's clubs and bars, similar sort of vibe. Yeah, I got to tell you about this club that's around the corner from me. It's called the 21st Century Nightclub, and it's got a dance floor. It's a revolving dance floor, so the dance floor goes around.
Wait, it moves?
Wow.
Like it literally moves and it spins.
That's
And like,
Oh my god.
exactly, so it's so cool, like especially late at night, and then you're just like, oh wow, the floor's moving. But yeah, that's a really cool
But I
club.
can't imagine like drunk people on it. They're gonna be
Exactly.
like so
The
irritated.
floor is
Exactly.
moving. Wait, figuratively or literally?
For sure.
God. Yeah.
But yeah, I completely get what Evan was saying, like just hanging out with friends like till late, having like good conversations, like deep and meaningful late at night. That's so good. But I think it was Evan that also mentioned like, are your food centers open late?
Yeah.
Did you say?
Some of
We have 24-hour food centers.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. We have nothing like that in Australia. Like we have like
really.
like sit down restaurants are all closed by 9 p.m, 10 p.m. most.
Oh wow.
Whoa,
Yeah,
okay.
like there's takeaway restaurants like near clubs and bars, like McDonald's, like, and we got like Hungry Jack's, which is like Burger King. So they're open like 24/7, but otherwise, they're all closed 10 p.m.
For us, like the main restaurants that are in malls and everything do close at around like 10 mostly. But like we do have like hawker centers, like food centers with like they're usually open concept. So like those stores are usually ran by like locals, like small food stores and everything. But like quite a bit of them will be open like 24 hours. I think like one famous one would be like Newton Circus. Newton is always open 24 hours, and as well as Lau Pa Sat, which is quite a tourist spot, also a tourist attraction.
Yeah, wow. Oh, that's awesome. And then
You'll never go hungry in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
At any time you'll have food.
I need to come visit for sure. And then we were having this discussion off air the other day about schools and universities, because we have like it sounds like we've got a different education system, like Australia and Singapore. So in a nutshell, Celeste, could you explain like sort of how the education system works?
Okay, so we start going to nursery at like 2 to 3 years old. Then from maybe 2 to 4 years old.
Yeah, like
And
nursery,
from
play
five,
school.
from 5 to 6 we will be in kindergarten. After kindergarten we would spend a few years in primary school from 7 to 12. Yep. So 7 to 12 will be in primary school. From 13 onwards we will be in secondary school. So 13 all the way to 16 we take our O levels.
Or 17.
Yep, 16 or 17. We take our O levels and levels. And then from there we move on to
Tertiary.
tertiary education. So it's either junior college, what we call as JC, polytechnics. We have 5 of them in Singapore. If not, we will go to ITE.
Which there's 3 in Singapore.
Okay.
So we have the East, Central, and West.
Okay, awesome. So Evan, where are you at?
I'm studying at Ngee Ann Polytechnic. So actually, Nadia, Celeste, and myself are all from Polytechnic. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Me and Celeste are from Temasek Polytechnic, which is on the east side, and Evans Polytechnic is on the west side, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No, honestly, north side, west side. But yeah.
Alright, cool, yeah. So in Australia, it's it's similar, but yeah, there are differences. So we've got like kindergarten, which is like 3 and 4 year olds, and then we go to primary school, which is about 5 to 12 year old, and then we got high school, which is 12 or 13 to about 18, and then it's straight to university or TAFE. So TAFE is like how do I explain, for people that want to do like trade, like electrician, plumber, sort of that sort of like more hands-on.
That's something like our ITE. Only like once we finish secondary school at 16, 17, then we have to take our main exam, right? So like ITE is more for those technical hands-on people who wants to do like those sort of things. JC, like from what I hear, your secondary school is all the way until like 18, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. So I guess like JC is basically extended secondary school. So it's like after 16 you can choose to like continue there, and then you take your A levels. Then polytechnic, I guess the best way to explain it is like in the middle. Like there's a lot of practical as well as theory, and it's like it's more of like a college, high school kind of environment, because you have like your big main campus, your different care groups, your different classes and everything. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, right. Ah, cool. Yeah, so our education systems are different, but of course, we're all learning in different ways. Yeah, it's good.
So
okay,
like,
and
is Australian education like very standardized for everyone?
yeah, I'd say so. Like, it sounds like the way Singapore sounds, like it sounds like you guys are good. Like, you can sort of choose your own pathway and stuff. But I feel in Australia, it's more so, like it's one system for everybody, really. Until you're about 17 or 18, then you can choose like university or TAFE, you know. And of course, like there's some people that like drop out a little bit earlier and just start full-time work, but that number is very small. Most people tend to finish secondary school and then choose what to do. But and then just to finish off the podcast, episode 1, I'll just ask everyone if they could share maybe their funniest moment living in their country, or even just like a little fun fact about their country.
Ooh. How about you start first, Trent?
Oh, yeah, put the pressure. Okay, fun fact, Australians do not ride their kangaroos to school. I don't know if that's like a worldwide thing or just America. But and kangaroos, like, they're not in our backyards, like in terms of like around the city. Like you won't see them. They're more rural. So probably in terms of Melbourne, you probably have to drive like 45 minutes to an hour out of Melbourne before you can actually see them. So that's probably a little fun fact. They're not everywhere.
But like, what about like the smaller critters like spiders and snakes? Are they like
spiders and
common?
snakes? They are everywhere.
Oh, okay. So even in like
more
cities.
spiders. Snakes are sort of more rural.
Okay.
But spiders. I could probably find one in my room right now. If I really wanted, but
Oh god.
If I go to Australia, I'm lucky that I actually love spiders and snakes. Like I don't know, like I enjoy them. Yeah, I love snakes. Snakes are adorable. But like I don't know, I'm not that icky about spiders. I don't know. It's just the way I was raised. Just okay, take them, put them outside. Then
Come to business school.
business school has spiders.
No snakes.
Legit? Wow.
Oh, I mean.
No, figuratively.
Oh.
Not literally.
Oh well. Oopsies. Okay, but like fun fact in Singapore, did you know like okay, so we stay in HDBs, right, which is basically apartments and stuff. Cats are legally not allowed to keep as pets in HDBs.
no way.
It's a rule. Like you can keep dogs, but you can't keep cats. But it's not really a heavily enforced law, but it's still like currently they're trying to revert that law because kind of doesn't make sense to a lot of people. And like for a lot of us, especially Malays, like we can only really own cats in the house. So like they're trying to revert that law. But that's a fun, not so fun little fact about Singapore.
Wow. And I'm just going to quickly jump in because I don't want anyone else to say this because I'm proud that I know this. But did you know in Singapore that you cannot chew gum? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Of course you guys all know that. But I just find that crazy. So is Malaysia neighbours Singapore,
Mhm.
and chewing gum in Malaysia is allowed?
Mhm.
Yes.
And so what? Singapore, you just cannot find chewing gum anywhere. Is that
Yeah,
right?
you can't buy it from anywhere here in Singapore.
That's
You can't find it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So like
Yeah,
most of
wow.
us, we go. Like the most fun part about going to our neighboring country is the fact that we can chew gum and like chew bubble gum.
What
and
was
everything. No, we just go there to chew gum, and when we come back, we're like, we can't do it anymore. You know?
Can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. But what about you, Evan? What's your fun fact?
My fun fact, Singaporean language is very interesting. So we have this thing called
Oh.
Singlish.
Mhm.
Singlish is a compilation of many different languages, but the main language will still be English. Hence, it's like Singlish. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's like Malay, Chinese, Indian, Tamil, like a lot of different languages that comprises itself into this Singlish thing. And the good thing about this Singlish aspect of Singaporeans is that it connects everyone, like regardless of race, your language or your religion. Everyone is like bonded together by this Singlish thing. Yeah, but
Wow.
usually foreigners, they don't actually understand us. They are very confused because they hear many different languages. Yeah.
Yeah.
Into one. That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So like one word that we would use to describe would be like rojak. Cause like okay, so rojak is basically a food dish. It can be Indian or Chinese that comprises of like many different ingredients and like one main sauce. So like we use it in a term where we mix a lot of things together. So like Singlish is basically a mix of different languages. So Singlish is like rojak. Yeah, so Singlish. Yeah, and like
Okay.
I think like most Singaporeans, we know like a few words or phrases from each of the other races because of Singlish.
That is so cool. So it's not something that like what you learn. Is it something that you pick up? Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
So
learn
it's not
anywhere.
taught. It's not a taught language.
Yeah, it's hard to teach when like people ask you like how do you speak
Yeah.
Singlish. It's hard to teach because you weren't taught it. You just naturally caught it on,
It just comes.
and it just becomes a part of your nature.
That is so cool. What about you, Celeste?
Well, fun fact is that, well, it's not really fun, but it is a fact. So, with the whole COVID situation going on and whatnot, the government wants everyone to be healthier. So, we don't have Coke, like normal Coke here. We have Coke less sugar. So, all our drinks now, the ones that are coming in, it's all less sugar drinks.
Yeah,
Oh my
this one.
goodness.
Yeah, I hate most of our like especially gassy drinks. Like if you drink them, you'll taste the difference because it's not as sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
kinda
crazy. Oh my
Yep.
So what do you call it? Coke Zero or?
No, we have Coke Zero, and then we have Coke less sugar. Like it's two different things.
Yeah, many Cokes. Yeah, many Cokes.
Yeah.
So, last time in the past, we have Coke Light, and then we have Coke Zero.
Mhm.
That
So
is-
now we don't have the original Coke anymore, and
Yeah.
Coke Light is pretty rare, I would say. But now all our Cokes are by default less sugar.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
it's
that's
kinda
Welcome to
sad.
Singapore.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for being here today. It's been awesome to speak to you all. That's episode 1 of Voices of CoXploring.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.